It's time for Justice for the People with Pastor Charles Bennett. Justice for the People, exploring issues involving corruption and injustices in the Tri-Cities. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and Pastor Bennett, and not necessarily those of the moderator, management, staff, or advertisers of WHAP. Here now is Pastor Charles Bennett and Justice for the People.
And I just heard a report that two top officials for the military, they believe that the United States military will not fire on its own civilians. But you know what? They're trying to do away with that quick.
Oh, that would be oath keepers.
Oh yeah, oath keepers. What are you referring to? Oath keepers.
Oath keepers are for anybody that's military now on active duty, or have been on active duty, and paramilitary like the police, the firemen, and whatnot. If you have taken an oath of the Constitution, you can go to oathkeepers.com and retake your oath. And the oaths that you take there are what you will not do, what the government cannot force you to do because it's against the Constitution. Firing on American citizens, arresting them for no reason, warrantless searches, seizing their weapons, that sort of thing.
Wow. We can't even buy today, I don't have any guns per se, but people are telling me, I mean, people in my church and people in other areas of life around Hopewell here are telling me they can't even find bullets. Their bullets are hard to find. And someone told me the other day that Barack Obama is getting ready to, he's not going to do away with guns. He's just going to do away with the metal to make guns out of. He's going to bankrupt the people that are manufacturing guns by making it illegal for them to possess or manufacture or use the metals that are used in making guns. There has to be a certain quality steel or the barrel will peel like a banana, you know. Mm-hmm. And so we're living in a day that if the people of America don't rally together, we're in trouble.
Well, that's because Barack Obama actually knows the meaning of the Second Amendment.
Oh, he knows the meaning, all right.
The Second Amendment has nothing to do with owning a weapon to go hunting or any. It is to protect you against the government.
I said that Thursday on our show. Now, why is it that you and so many people are saying that, but the average person listening to this show today, they are horrified at the thought that the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, was written in there to shoot government officials of the United States of America if they become in tyranny, tyrants. And yet that is what it says. And yet they're trying to say, well, it doesn't mean you have a right to bear arms. You have a right to be, we have a right to have a militia. And so the militia can have arms, but the public cannot. That's not what the Second Amendment.
The public is the militia.
The public is the militia, but more than that, the public has a right to bear arms to protect themselves against tyrannical people that are tyrants, tyrannical rulers and authority. And that's what it's for. And that's your understanding?
Very much, yes.
And that is the understanding of every person that even understands the law. Every lawyer can look at it and say, that's what it says. But that's not what the public, our public out here, they think I'm a kook because I believe that if they're coming to take your car out of your yard illegally, you have a right to shoot the police officer who's trying to remove your car.
Definitely.
Maybe you should refer them to the Declaration of Independence.
Well, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States means nothing in our society, because in our society we're supposed to have open courts, but we don't have that anymore, do we?
Unfortunately, the founders wrote things in plain English, not legalese.
But the Constitution, according to the liberal Democrats, the Constitution is a living document, so it has to change with the times, for after all, the Constitution didn't say anything about the internet, now did it?
Now that's why you have these little things called constitutional amendments.
Oh yeah.
That's not an executive order, that's not a law
passed
by Congress.
Well, speaking about constitutional amendments, speaking about a constitutional amendment, doesn't the original Constitution say you cannot tax a man's income?
It says it's not only unconstitutional but immoral.
It says it's immoral and unconstitutional to tax a man's income. It's unconstitutional. It's against. But
For the
but
purposes
do
of
we have?
redistribution of wealth.
But do we have income tax today?
Oh, it was just to nail Al Capone. That's why they set
Well,
it up.
but the point is,
It's
Jeff.
going to go way after
The
that.
point is,
That's what it did, didn't it?
every amendment has to be ratified. It was amended, and it had to be ratified by 3/4 of the states, and the income tax was never ratified by 3/4 of the states, so it's an illegal tax. Is
I've
that
heard
right?
that, but I don't know that for sure.
Oh,
so I'm not
I
gonna agree with
researched
that.
it. I researched
You
it.
say it, but I haven't seen it.
It is absolutely true,
I
but
don't believe everything
but
you
it's
hear.
accepted. But it's accepted by the American people.
It is.
We have income tax. It's accepted by the American people. And after all, how would we get all these services? Now, we are now living in a day, which some of our founding fathers spoke about, that if 50% of the people realized they could vote themselves a free paycheck, the democracy would collapse. We now have 49% of the people in our country that firmly believe that the 51% should pay for everything the 49% are doing.
Which is why the French referred to it as mobocracy.
Mobocracy, not democracy. And the French are wishes and whips, but they got it right.
Yeah, isn't that great? The French get it right. How sad is that?
But they're still socialists.
They're still socialist.
French.
They're still French. Well, let's get back to this. We have a tax tea party going on up there. Do you expect there's going to be about 10,000 people, Allie?
Oh, yeah, I would say
There
about
better
that
be
many.
more.
But it's not just in Richmond. They've got about 500 of them across the country.
Oh, they're all over the country. Atlanta, Georgia's expecting 20, 30,000 people. But the last point you talked about is what?
The last one was family. This one, the next one is, if you break the law, you pay the penalty. Justice is blind and no one is above it.
Well,
I mean, look at Obama's.
well,
Cabinet.
every person in his cabinet's he's not a taxpayer.
Well, they told us that it was our patriotic duty to pay our taxes.
Yes.
So he's got a bunch of non-patriotic people
Absolutely.
in his cabinet.
Absolutely.
I mean, those are his words, not mine.
That is his words and not mine. And now they're my words because I see them resigning like flies. You know, I couldn't even swat as many flies as Obama has resigning. So what's the next point?
You have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness,
Now that's an interesting one.
but there is no guarantee of equal results.
See, there's the problem.
Doesn't everybody get a trophy?
I have a right to own one boat, but you can't afford two because they're going to tax you so far out. You can't afford two boats. So you can have two boats, but one of them's going to sit in your yard. Listen, folks, our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness is gone. We are now all slaves of the state of Virginia.
Well, see, everybody thinks their happiness is guaranteed. There is no guarantee on happiness. You have the right to pursue it. It doesn't mean you will necessarily achieve it.
That's right. All right, what's the next point?
I work hard for what I have, and I will share with it what I want to. Government cannot force me to be charitable.
Well, that
Now we're
should
back to
be.
the tax.
It goes back to the story I just talked about.
Talk about your house.
They're coming and they're going to force you to give to people, to take your wealth, take what you work for, and spread the wealth around. When we come back, we're going to talk about point number 9. This government works for me. That's an important point. More right after these messages.